All right, ladies and gentlemen, my dear student. Right, you all welcome back to the start of the new term. This is third term, and very soon you are going to write the internal exam. Right. So, what I would like to tell you is this: even if your result is not wow, whatever your marks is or whatever you scored, don't worry. There is still room for improvement, right? I believe in you, right? So if you believe in yourself as I believe in you, obviously you are going to make it right. Like I said, make sure you watch the video. It's very important. Most of you don't want to subscribe. Some students say, yeah, you know, love that. That's great. Because I'm teaching over 160 students. Out of 160, it's only how many subscribe? It was 80 before. All of a sudden, I discovered that one student removed her name. I don't know whether he or she, I don't know. But it's not a problem. The most important thing is that make sure you watch it. And if we could really zoom in, most of you that passed are those people watching the YouTube. They watch the YouTube because I could attest to that from transport and logistic. They pass very well because they watch it. Don't complain about. I know we are all, or we are not all the same. You see, these five fingers are not equal, but we must always try to help ourselves. Like I said, when you come to the college, if you don't have Wi-Fi, at least I got a Wi-Fi here. I can connect with you, hotspot you. You download the videos, right? When you go home, you don't need Wi-Fi to play it because you've already downloaded it. Yes. I get confused with language. When I search a video, I won't know for use the video, which class it is. No, it's written there. It's written. There are explanation. There are notes. Yeah. Yeah, we got for new venture and level 3. But if you click on the description, I describe it. Yeah, look. Yeah. Look at the description. Then you can be able to discern. Hello. Please sit down quietly. Right. Okay. Guys, it's very important because the year is getting to a close. We are getting to the end of the year because this term it goes quick, very quick. Before you know, you will be writing your internal exam. Besides that, you have a major task that you need to do. We call it ISET. What does ISET mean? Integrated Summative Assessment Task. It's a accumulation of what you'll be doing. It's cumulative of what you'll be doing, right? From term one, the whole year assessment. Yeah. ISET is a task. Yeah. ICAS is the whole mark for the year of the internal assessment. We call that one ICAS. So you're gonna write internal exam in September thereabout, or yeah, early September. Sorry? Now I will check for the specific date for you. You're gonna be around either late of August or early September, and it's going to be based on your whole syllabus from Genesis to Revelation. You see, so it's like a prelim in the exam in the high school. Let's take it like that. No, yours is always 100 mark. It's 100. Yeah, yeah, it's always 100. Yeah, it's only level 3, level 4 is 150, right? So, guys, let's tighten our belt. I know you are capable, right? What we've done is not difficult. We've virtually finished the work. All we need to do now is we need to go back and start all over again to do revision. Happily enough, you got video. That is one thing I'm happy about. That is not something that we don't have things in the archive, in the memoir, that we can always revisit, right? So, yeah, I discovered that most of you were struggling. You struggled a lot. For example, they were asking you about the business plan. We've done business plan over and over again. I've explained that over and over again. A business plan. I was surprised that most of my students could not even know what is a business plan. The component of a business plan. Jonga, I'm explaining now, you're getting distracted. Hello, you are distracted now. Focus, right? Sir, but is it easier possible now before they say, is there possibility to give all question papers based on Yes, I'm gonna give to you. Yeah, there's a possibility. It's possible. Right. I'm gonna post you past question paper, send it to you via WhatsApp. Right? When you come here, don't say, sir, I don't have a means to print it. You go to the computer lab. If there are no papers there, come to me. I will give you papers. Then you print. Each time you go to the computer lab or you visit the computer lab, you just make some printout for yourself. Right? I've got papers for you. I can assure you that. Right. So let's do whatever within our means to make sure that we pass this paper. Right. So it's not difficult. Don't panic. Even if your mark is so low, no. All you need to do is to wake up, right? And let's work together. At the end of the day, by the grace of God, we are all going to smile. Right. So that is that. Now, you were given this case study. Why are you coming late? Okay, next time you must come early. So you were given this case study of Espinacia Innovations Bakery. Espinacia, it sounds like it's Spanish. I don't know whether it's Spanish. Espinacia. Right. Okay, never mind. Whether Espinacia or whatever. Yeah, it sounds Spanish, more or less Spanish. It's not French, right? If it was French, I could have been able to decode it. But more or less, French and Spanish, more or less the same. Anyhow, that is not what we are talking about. Right? The owner is this, okay, it's Lufefe. Oh, you know, right. Oh, that name is such a wonderful name. Okay. No, Jana. Okay, let's read the case study. Nobjana was barely in his 20s when he began selling clothing from door to door. That is personal selling, right? Personal selling. Selling clothes from door to door. It's not something that is easy, right? But as a starter, he has to because he was determined to make money. So, yeah, but although he was hardworking and self-driven, let me put self-driven there, although there is no self-driven there, right? Self-driven. These are some of the characteristics of an entrepreneur, right? You need to be hardworking, right? You need to be able to work smart. Do you understand what I mean? Then you need to be self-driven, have that inordinate ambition to make money. But I'm not saying you must chase after money, right? Money must chase after you. Do you understand what I mean? Because if you are chasing money, sometimes if that money doesn't come to you, you get depressed. right? I don't want you to be full of anxiety of chasing after money. Money must chase. I want money to chase me, not me chasing money. Do you understand what I mean? So he was self-driven. He realized he wasn't as financially savvy in terms of how to take care of money, how to manage money. He got a backdrop there. He got what we call a gap, right? A pitfall. Let me call. I don't want to speak to main language now because I want my student to pass, right? You've got a problem there, right? Problem of what? Of not being able to control money, to look after money. I'm telling you, if you are not financially savvy, you don't know how to control money. If somebody gives you 1 million rand today, after a few months, you're gonna be a poor person. You understand? If you don't kill yourself, because when you see money unexpectedly, you can't sleep. Do you know about that? When you see a lot of money that came all of a sudden like a shock, you cannot sleep. You see? But when you know how to manage money, if somebody gives you small money, you know how to manage it, you invest it, right? You know the capital that is invested, you know how much profit that you how to generate, and you know how to use your money, right? Some people they start a business, all of a sudden, before you know, the business will close, go down the drain because they started eating the capital. Must learn how to sacrifice. Do you understand what I mean? Even if you are hungry, you know your income. Don't go and buy things that are not useful, that cannot help you. Okay. So you need to be financially savvy or savvy, if you will, right? For you to be a good business person. Right. So unfortunately, this gentleman was a hardworking guy, right? He was self-driven, but in terms of managing money, he had a problem, right? Which he needed to fix, right? It can be fixed. So, yeah, he wasn't financially savvy as he needed to be to run a business. Although I had the ambition and discipline to be self-employed, right? Things weren't going well. He says, I didn't know enough about stock control, cash flow, and so on. You see, besides the fact that Lufefe wasn't financially savvy, he lacked the knowledge of stock control. For example, if you got a business of retail, you know a retail business, you buy, you sell. Perhaps you go to micro, you buy a lot of quantity in box, then you come to your tax shop, you put it in your shop, you sell. You need to know how to control stock. For example, you need to know what exactly that is a moving market. If once people are buying from your shop, the one they are buying most, you make sure that that one doesn't run out, right? When the customer comes to you, say, where is this stuff? Do you have it? It shouldn't be something that you say, let me go and look for it. You check, it's finished. You don't even know that it's finished. If a customer comes to you one day, say, sir, where is this stuff? You say it's not there. The second time it comes to you, it happens. They're gonna go. They will not come back to you again. Right. So you should know how to take care of your stock. Though we got certain methodology, techniques of controlling stock. Remember, I made mention of this concept to you. FIFO, first in, first out, right? Last in, last out. So you must get used to those methodology. The one that came first must be the one that will go out first if you are using that system. Because if you buy stock, you keep, right? Then you don't sell those stock. What is going to happen? It might get expired, it might get wasted. You might as well be subject yourself to a victim of theft. You know, theft, people can steal your stuff. If you don't know how to control your stock, somebody besides you are very close to you, there, your neighbor, they can even steal your stock. Or perhaps you got somebody working with you, right? You don't know how many stock you've got. That person will be helping himself or herself because you don't know. Before you know, now your business is gone. You know there are certain people they steal, right? If you don't control your stock very well, you don't know how much you've got, then that person will rob you. So you need to know that. It's one of the requirements for any potential business person or a business person to excel in conducting business. Right. So Lefebvre talked about that. He discovered that irrespective of his hard-working nature, right? Irrespective of his good, self-driven spirit, right? Irrespective of his ambition to make money, but he got a certain problem that he need to face. So by virtue of that, he took a leap. What type of leap? To see how he can fix his problem. Lefebvre decided to improve his skills and knowledge and applied at Raymond Ackerman Academy of Entrepreneurial Development to bridge the gap because there were gaps now in his ways to succeed, to be a successful businessman. So he went to Enron. It was on a 5 months course at this academy that Lefebvre realized that he could build a business while helping people in his community. He could build a business, listen, to help himself, while on the other hand, helping people in the community. Do you see? That is a kind of business that can be sustainable because he's not only thinking about helping himself, right? Helping other people in the community. And if you got an idea of such a business whereby you can be able to help people in the community and at the same time helping yourself, that business will succeed because the benefits accrue to that business now is of mutual basis. I help myself, I help the community. And by virtue of that, it will make the community to patronize you. You know what I mean by patronize? To come and buy from you because they are getting the helps on one side. They are helping themselves as well. So let's see what happened. He was bothered by the fact that people around him didn't have access to healthy alternative by way of convenient food, and that many were unaware of how harmful poor dietary choices could be. So we are learning a lot of stuff from here now. Some people like to eat junk food. Junk food is not good, right? Most of you take sweet, you like licking sweet. Those things are not healthy. By the time you reach the age of what I am now, at my age, your teeth is finished, right? But when you growing up, you like something sweet. Something sweet is not too good. When you take something sweet, dilute it, detoxicate it with something that is bitter. Then you balance the pH. You know what we call the pH scale. You balance it up. Acidic, then you neutralize it with basic. alkalinity. They to balance. Sweet stuff is not good, right? Some people like eating fried stuff, chips. Instead of you to eat fried chips, why you don't cook it and eat it? It's more better. Huh? Yeah. Okay. So this guy, he saw a gap, right, in the community. What did he do with the gap? He take advantage of it. He leveraged. Let me use a modern language. He leveraged that opportunity to provide for the community in lieu that to sensitize and provide for the community for them to be eating healthy food. And from there, he started making money. Right. Okay, let's see what happened thereafter. Lou Fefe, I have to position my mouth to pronounce this thing very well. Lou Fefe opened the Exponential Innovation Bakery. When we say something innovation or innovate, it's revolutionary. It's something that is different from what is already in existence. Because can I tell you something? If you want to start a business, you want to make money, younger, don't do exactly what others are doing. Hello, listen, I'm talking. Focus. If you want to excel, right, you must do something different from others. And once it works out for you, you make money. Because what is common is of less value in most cases. Do you understand what I mean? Right. So this guy, he did his own research and discovered that the people in his community were eating junks. Right. So he devised a way of providing them good diet that can improve on their health system, their feeding system, or feeding standard. Then he came up with a bakery. Of course, there were other bakery in the community selling bread, making bread, but you see the one he came with, right? He blended it with some other stuff to enrich it to a certain standard that can add value to the dietary intake of the people in this community. Okay, let's see what happened next. Then, which has been operating for 2 years and just last week moved from a container. Okay, eventually started a bakery. You know, of course, when you are starting a business, you need to start at a very low scale, low profile. Do you understand what I mean? Right. You start at a very low edge, no problem. Then from there, you start growing. Perhaps he started in his room or wherever he must have started. Yeah. Then he started expanding. After 2 years, he moved from a container to a small house. The business was moving. Then the bakery stand out from dozens of stores selling fried chicken and pap along Spine. You see Spine Road because it says homemade vegetarian goods. You see? So he came up with vegetarian uh, dietary food, right? Which stood out among other shops that were selling fried chicken, right? This guy, this type of business is something that is aligned, yeah, aligned to my taste. I like eating chicken, fried chicken. If there is fried chicken and there's something vegetarian stuff, I prefer to take that. Mm. 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 Yeah. Yeah, he had his own target market. Do you understand what I mean? Okay. Short. Ask us how Maguire. You see, Maguire. Okay, let me see if I get what you're asking. Maguire. Yeah, yeah, I had a business. Okay. Oh, how did that started off? Oh, good man. I love that question, man. Listen, listen. He asked a very good question, right? He's somebody that is very reflective. He can still remember what we started with long time ago because I told you this long time ago, right? You see, I started off, from a very low scale, How? Because somebody gave me 200 rand, right? And that point in time, 200 rand was good money, right? To my standard, right? Perhaps it could be something small to other people, but to me it was a big box. And that, by the way, that was my first time of seeing 200 rand because I never knew that there is 200 rand a note in this country, and I was very new. That was 2001. How many years ago? Amen. More than that. That 200 rand is 2000. Yeah, it's roughly 2000. Huh? 2001. Yeah. Huh? You see, you were a year old. Okay. What I can tell you is that a loaf of bread that time was 2.75 cents. How much is a loaf of bread? Okay, you do the arithmetic, the calculation, then use that multiplying factor to times that 200. It's a lot of money. Yeah. Funding. Need funding for your business. Oh, budgeting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And what you are studying here can help you. To come back to the question that you asked, right? So that 200 rand, you know what I did? I bought myself a cooler box. I started my business from a cooler box, right? I bought that. Then I bought chicken, right? What do you call it? Mayonnaise. Because I have to put mayonnaise, I bought cheese, lettuce, the pack that I need to use to wrap the whole stuff and all those stuff. That was how I started. And I was making money. Every day I was making 200 rand. You imagine 200 rand that time was a lot of money. Huh? Okay, good. At that point in time, I was staying in Etlong. You know Etlong? I was selling in Cape Town, specifically in Observatory. You know Observatory? Because there were some shops there. Yeah. So, sorry? Yeah. Huh? What is a periodism? So you are worried about the time now? Huh? What did you get in my paper? Ask him. These are the people getting low marks in my paper. What I'm telling you now, I'm giving you wisdom. Now you say period is over. Where are you gonna get this wisdom again? So that was how I started, and actually I made it. After 1 month, I was able to send my parent money home, 1,500, and I was able to pay deposit for my studies. You see, from that money, from that small business. Maguire. No, I was not making magunya. I was every time I like using magunya as an example. It was chicken mayo, cheese and tomatoes, burger. That was what I was making. 60 rand. Yeah, but even 60 rand that time, you can start a business with it. Because, for example, how much was chicken mayo? Chicken mayo was 12 rand, right? A loaf of bread was 3 rand 75 cents. Of course, the bread I was using wasn't ordinary bread. You call it Uncle Sally bread. It was around 4 rand, 5 rand. Yeah, 4 rand. Huh? Fed cook. No, not fed cook. Not fed cook. I was doing chicken mayo, cheese, egg, and tomatoes. Yeah, yeah. You see? But at that time I was in love with Magunya. Because I remember there was a time I used to buy Magunya with fried fish. They put fish inside, you know. So that was how I started. And I was doing well. From there, I was able to be paying my rent. Listen, my rent, I was paying my rent. You see? And there was a time I moved out from Etlon. I went to go and stay in Woodstock. I was paying 500 rand a room monthly. From my business, I was able to pay 500 rand every month for my rent. You see, I was self-sustaining, you know, up to a point that, yeah, things couldn't work out again because of certain things or the other, which I don't want to say here now, you know, but it was something good. Yeah, you say the time is over now. We haven't even had the time of, we haven't finished this stuff. Past question papers. Okay. Just remind me in the group. Okay. So, guys, have a lovely day.